No. YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building. You can see we're here for some more or less Cloudia, and this time a more informative video that I really hope helps a lot of new players and even maybe some vets that can pitch in some extra knowledge on what I'm about to talk about in the comments. That's where I'm learning most of everything right now. That's going to be ether farming for your ARKs. But before we get into that, we had a decision to make last video, and I'm going to pull the trigger because after a lot of thought and a lot of reading and a lot of great feedback from you guys, I have decided to go with an ARK I wasn't planning on to start with. LiQWYD obviously was a solid choice. You guys pointed out that getting a solid support type unit would also be very beneficial for my roster in particular, but I don't want to go that route. I'm planning on possibly throwing some more stones at the Spirit Maiden Tyria banner. If I could grab her, then getting Tinkery off this banner wouldn't be, or off of this shop wouldn't be as useful to me. So we're going with an ARK. Silver Gray Swordsman was a huge contender. Another one I was considering was Abandoned City of the Sea, as well as Terror of the Grana Seas. Both of those have really, really nice abilities that come with the ARK when you attach them to certain characters. And then, of course, I'm a fan favorite of Pirate Ship Legnus, but that kind of ARK is going to serve me better for high-level PvP, as well as long-term events that have a lot of waves back to back to back because you are able to stack your skill stock over and over again. So I'm going with a fan favorite that everyone talks about, probably the ARK that popped up the most in my comments, and that is Sandworm. We're pulling the trigger. Like I said, I think, one, as a physical damage dealer fan like myself, I prefer that method of combat. I need to have the ability dual wield available whenever I want for certain characters. There was an interesting comment pointing out that a lot of characters that need dual wielding come with it. DB Ray, Alice, Logia, I believe all come with the skill dual wield, but in my case, there are certain characters like Dilmordo that does not have dual wield in a skill tree. You need that to make him look like a badass, as well as our boy Roland, right? A big Mac Daddy in this game, who I will be working on in the future sooner rather than later. I'm planning on building out Lily to have a really nice caster. I'm pretty much done with Ray for the time being. Then I'm going to Dilmordo because duh. And then I'm going to rock DB Ray, Dilmordo, and Lily as a solid 3-man squad. And then probably Roland will be the next unit I tackle. So for those next two, I got to have that ability dual wield to throw on them. So that's what ultimately made me decide that. But getting back to the main point of this video, something that I'm excited to make is to talk about ether grinding, right? This is what you need to do in order to get the ether rewards from your different ARKs, right? To get them to 100%. It's very difficult to rely on Ethereans that only raise it by 5% each Etherean. To get it maxed out, you don't get enough of those in game to rely on that kind of method. So auto running stages is the main method for grinding these up, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Huge shout out to our boy Rithik in my Discord server. I pinned one of his comments. This is where I got pretty much 100% of the information I'm relaying in this video. He dropped a nice fat description on how to ether farm effectively. I'm going to be going over all the points that he talked about in this video. Make sure to join the Discord so you can refer to it after this video and read everything he had to say. There was really good stuff in there. He pointed this out to me because with the acquisition of AG Lily, there's a couple ether rewards that are going to make her look 1,000 times better, and that includes this one, Cultist's Pendant, which increases the magic casting speed by 30%, and it increases dark magic damage, which is a nice bonus. He pointed out the Shrine of Heresy one, which is what we just looked at. Also, the rare ARK Rad Moon Ruins gives us the Rad Moon Stone, which gives us an extra 20% casting speed. So both of those pendants on Lily are going to give her that 50% added casting speed boost, which is just essential. You can see we've got 20% here, and I'm almost to 40% on Shrine of Heresy. We're getting there, but it's a grind, I will say. So let's get into the best ways to do it. First, Rithik recommends Imperial Commander 3 as the optimal quest to farm auto run, but I, one, don't think I'm there yet. Two, I couldn't find it when I was searching. The alternative that he presented was the quest Find Tyria, which is right here in the center, the royal capital Aldana. It's the first quest right here that you can do. I do it, of course, on hard, just because I think it gives us those extra rewards that you don't get on normal mode. You just select any support type unit, and there is a method to the team build, right? Obviously, we want the 2 ARKs that give us the Ether rewards. We put them at a level 1, right? We change the ARK level so that we're using minimal souls for these runs. We're going to be getting a return that's actually positive on these orbs, so that we're never going to run out of orbs. Essentially, we're actually going to be gaining orbs as we do this. I didn't set an ARK on Lily because I didn't want to put this amount to the point where we're spending more than we're gaining after each quest clear. But basically, the thought process is you give one of your casters an OP time stop attack all magic ability. We're going to be using Shining Zoc. Rithik points out is a great one for Advocate of God Lily. And then you can see I don't have her built out at all. I just have her here because she's going to get better as we continue to advance her. But really, Ray is going to dominate this stage for me at the moment. He has been, you're going to see here. And then I bring Del Mordo on the back end just to get that extra experience for him. I put the 2 level 1 ARKs on them so that we get that chance of increasing the Ether percentage each run. So we go ahead, click auto run. If you're running this on the phone, make sure you do battery life saver, energy saving settings, and rematch support settings. This is just going to limit the amount of friend requests you sent out if you don't want to be sending out a friend request every single run, because we're going to be doing a lot of them. So in this case, we're going to set it like that, hit run, and boom, it's doing its things. We got the auto run on here, and that's it. So when you're going to bed, if you just put your phone in the charger, you set it up like this, and then you go to sleep. Hopefully you wake up to a nice fat amount of Ether percentage added on to your ARKs. So while this is running in the background, I want to go over some of the benefits that Rithik points out in this comment. So the first one, obviously, is raising the ARK Ether level. This is going to give us a lot of benefits in getting those equipments that are attached to the ARKs. You also get the AP boost whenever you're trying to teach skills. If an ARK is at 100% Ether, it triples the skill experience that you get. 2, you will rapidly accumulate mats to fill out your unit's grid. So typically every time I'm checking back and forth, I see that there's maybe a green crystal, purple crystal, even rainbow crystals I've seen that pop up. So when you do this 10, 50, 100, 1,000 times over, you're going to be accumulating some nice resources depending on which quest you do. You will level up your units, though slowly. Rithik points out at this moment, the New Year's event gives you that Ray Doll trinket, which I actually do have equipped to DB Ray himself, which boosts your experience gained by 20%. Obviously, it's a little bit if you're just looking at one stage, but over time, that is going to accumulate. Equip it on the least important unit to level up fast. That increases adds up over hundreds of runs. I might switch it over to Del Mordo to start catching him up on levels more. The 4th benefit he talks about is unit souls. Any unit in your squad will have a small chance to drop 1 copy of their soul per run, which I have seen. That is confirmed with my own eyeballs. There's a small percentage chance that we could get a one soul drop of Lily, DB Ray, and Del Morto in this sense, which is very useful. That adds up over time, obviously. And lastly, he points out gold. You will have so much you will be begging to find a place to spend it. As a new player, that sounds great to me. I know it costs me a substantial amount of gold to level up blue soul towers, maximum capacity on my souls, and leveling up awakening and enhancing units. Not awakening, but enhancing units costs a good pretty penny. So as much gold as I can get, the better. And then a small little extra tidbit tip that Rithik gives us here in the end. One more small trick. Instead of ether grinding, you can actually soul grind. Most hard stages will reward about 100 blue souls and 10 red souls, not exact numbers, but if you run the units without any arcs, you can accumulate those souls. So if you want to just abandon, you're not working on any ether percentages at the moment, but you need some souls, you can do this exact same method for soul accumulation rather than the ether percentages. And then something else I kind of forgot to point out here is with these stage recommendations, it is because they are a one-stage wave, right? As you can see, we load in, we've got the boss and the 2 enemies there, we take them out, stage is done, we recycle, do it over and over and over and over again. So you're not going through multiple waves to get one clear per auto run. So that's very important to note as well. Again, I'm excited to implement this strategy into my game. I'm excited to get the 2 ether rewards mentioned earlier in the video for AG Lily, because as you can see, we're finishing this stage before she can even cast her spell. And the whole point of bringing her is so she can cast that spell to wipe out the whole field. I think that's only going to happen when we have that boosted casting speed on her, unfortunately. But at the same time, I'm still clearing this event very quickly, I believe, so I'm not too worried about it. She's only going to look better the more that we do this, which excites me a lot. I'm going to leave this auto run on probably until tomorrow. I'll check back, see where we are, and you know what I say. Work hard, play harder. See ya in the next video.